Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Morning, all materials writers 2020C. How are you this morning?
Pretty good, sir. How about you?
Not bad. It's a very busy start of the day, and I'll be having a busy day today. I'm sure you will also be very busy. I know it's going to be a hard time for you this semester because of the courses that you are taking. Yeah. For you, 2020, who are doing micro teaching, this Friday, you will have a special incursion practitioner from PT Cakap, who will train you how to teach online learning, English lessons online. I haven't announced it to your group, but the deal is already reached, and PT Cakap will introduce you to this skill, teaching online English, or teaching English online. Mark your calendar, Friday this week on the 18th, from 1 to 3 p.m. And you will get certificates for that. And this is incursion practitioners who will open up your mind on how to teach online. As a head of the study program, I would like to check other courses. Please let me know if there is one or two courses which haven't started. Please be honest to me. No?
I think every courses have been started.
Good. I'm happy to hear that. Because last semester I heard rumors, of some, not some, a handful lecturers did not not some, one or two, did not start the classes on time. I hope this is not true. Rumors, and that's why I need to check with you. So I'm glad to hear that. Okay, if you check our course outline, our syllabus, you will find that today you will be learning how to define, not how to, but you will define the options you have for materials development. What are actually options on the table that you can choose? Whether materials development is the only way of getting materials for your students. I'd like to share with you. So, one thing. I would like to finish this class earlier, 8:30, not 8:40, because I have to go to public health center. What is that? Public health center. What is in Indonesia? Public health center. Puskesmas, yeah. I need to get a health certificate for an errand that I would like to apply, and I am already listed number 5 in the waiting room. So sorry for that, but yeah, this is the last day that I need to get that certificate. Yeah. All right. But I will leave you with activities so that you will not be left unattended. Okay, let me share my screen. Okay, one of the first, of course, is to get you back to the main reference. Yeah, what is that? Yeah, the that reference is used in materials development as a news 2016. As you learned it last week from the book, the book is easy to read, and I believe that you can read the rest of the book very easily to meet the expectations of the indicators of each meeting. For example, last week's indicator was to define materials and to define materials development. I think you understood that materials are everything that can be used by teachers and students in their learning of language. That can assist them in learning the language. Once again, anything, because it is anything, then materials can take many different forms. But of course, you need to get something as what is it, guideline. What is then the preference for choosing the anything that can be used? Of course, the reference is the objectives. Objectives is part of the syllabus and part of the curriculum. You still remember last week we learned that there is a not only strong but a clear relationship between materials development or materials and the syllabus. Materials and syllabus should be in line. So I think you should avoid of giving wrong materials. Do you think that in your experience your teachers happened to give you wrong materials? Have you ever heard of that? Have you ever experienced? Well, I hope not. Because if that is the case, then there is a catastrophe, a disaster. Because you as a teacher lead the students to the wrong way. So you need to avoid that. That's why you need to be good teachers, knowledgeable teachers, so that you don't get the wrong materials. I believe you. I believe that you know the objectives of English language lessons in Indonesia, because you learned it in syllabus design, right? But of course, we would like to check your understanding in the coming meetings when you plan your materials. Maybe I will have a short session on checking up your understandings of the materials. And materials development is not only a field of study but also a practical endeavor, a practice. That if it is a practice, who is responsible for that?
Teacher?
The teachers. The teachers are responsible. So there is no way to say that a teacher, for example, say like this: look, this is not my fault because this is the book that says so. You still remember some cases in the news, where we find materials which contain pornography. Pornography contain terrorism. You know what? Who to blame?
The teacher?
The teachers, not the materials writers. Why? Because these books are commercial textbooks. Commercial textbooks have actually to go under tedious process of what we call selection, adoption, maybe adaptation. And if you can't have all these, then you can develop. That is why today we will first look at what options are on the table for you as a teacher. What options? And what are the principles, yeah, or why such an option is possible, or when to do such an option. If you read through the book, yeah, chapter 4, so we jump, yeah, we skip chapter 2 and chapter 3 to chapter 4, yeah, you will find selection and gradation, yeah, of materials, yeah. So I think we move forward, yeah, fast forward, yeah. It's not only regular speed, yeah, we are doing fast forward, yeah, 20 times, yeah, speed, yeah. Why? Yeah, because I believe that you can read better, you can read fast, yeah, because the book is also easy to follow, yeah. Let me share once again the screen, yeah. So chapter 4 of the book, yeah, where you can find what we call selection, yeah, gradation and gradation of materials, yeah, selection, yeah, and gradations in materials development, yeah. But it's not only the process that you can take, but other processes are possible. For example, adaptation and adoption, yeah, adaptation and adoption. So you need to think of these processes called let me share with you this is important for you to pay attention to, yeah. You don't have to take a note, because I will share with you all these PowerPoints, yeah. I haven't put them in Finessa, but I have made YouTube, yeah, for our meeting, so that you can always go back to our meetings, yeah. So this is important for you, yeah, that you are actually having options on the table, yeah, materials in relation to teaching materials, yeah. Of course, one of the first that you can choose is to select, yeah. Okay, select. You still remember last week I showed you, yeah. But in the market there are many what we call commercial textbooks, even mandatory textbooks, yeah, from the government, yeah. You know the word mandatory? Mandatory means that it is a must that the students or the schools use such a book, yeah. In that case, if they are mandatory, yeah, then you have to use the book, but not in full. You can always combine the book with other books, yeah. Remember that materials are not only books, yeah. There are other forms of materials depending on the objectives. Once again, you can select later what are the criteria for selections that you can read, yeah, in chapter 4 in Azandus et al.'s book, yeah, the criteria for selections. If you are interested in studying how the teacher selects materials, you can pay attention to the criteria, and you can use the criteria of that. If you are interested in one textbook, yeah, and the textbook matches, yeah, the objectives of, yeah, in the syllabus, 100% match, for example, is found in the textbook, then you can adopt the textbook. Okay, you can adopt the textbook as your materials. Of course, later we will be talking about this. There are advantages and disadvantages of such an adoption. Yeah, but of course, in many cases in Indonesia, yeah, in schools where resources are scarce, yeah, not many resources, adoption is the common phenomenon. Yeah, even in our traditional schools, yeah, adoption is the common phenomenon. Yeah, what do I mean by adoption? Yeah, you follow the book, you use the book as the syllabus. Yeah, so it means that the completion of a textbooks is the completion of a program. Yeah, that's an adoption. Yeah. That's one advantage here. Of course, there is also a disadvantage that we will be talking in depth later. Yeah. But if you're not happy with that, you can't have 100% match of the contents of the textbook with the objective, then you can adapt the contents. Adaptation, of course, can be possible if you know the objective. If you know also if you have skills in developing materials, adapting materials too. What are the criteria of adaptation? What forms of adaptations are possible? I'll talk about these later. But the latest option for you is development. No, if you, for example, you can't find a books that matches your objective. You can't find a book that match, for example, 50% so that you can adapt it for your class, for your program, for your lesson. Then there is no way but to develop. Yeah. So either you select, you adapt, or later you develop. Yeah. But of course, the name of our course today is Developing ELT or EFL materials. Yeah. So you will be doing the last option on the table here on the screen. Yeah. So that's hard. Yes, of course. Remember that it is a field of study. Yeah. If it is a field of study, then there is special knowledge and skill that you need to have to develop. Yeah. To in doing materials development. Okay, once again, the option is to select. Yeah, after you select, you can adopt one of them. Yeah, but if you're not happy with the book, then you can adapt. Yeah, the books. Then, if you're not happy with all of them, then you should develop the materials. Yeah, so these are the steps in doing materials development. Now, what are the criteria? When to adapt? When to adopt? Okay, let's have a look at this. Yeah, I haven't talked about the selection because you can go to the book for the criteria for selection. Yeah. So when to adapt or adopt? Yeah. When? Yeah. Commercial textbook. Yeah. So this is the reason for adaptation. Yeah, you can get all this in Azander's books and also in Tomlinson. Yeah, so there is a different approach that I take today. Last week I asked you to read, and then in the end I send you the PowerPoint. But this time I send you the PowerPoint, and then later I will leave them with you to check with the textbook. Yeah. So these circles are part of the language program model, by McAllister, Nation and McAllister, 2010. So what we have in the center is always the goal. The goal, Why adapt? It can be because of the goal. The materials, for example, do not match the goals 100%. Of course, then you need to pick up some of the materials and you adapt it, adapt them with the goals. Or maybe the contents are too high, then you need to lower them. Or maybe the sequence that doesn't match your plan. As I, for example, did this morning. I asked you to read chapter 4 in Azanus. I didn't follow. You need to read chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4. But last week we read chapter 1, and this week we read chapter 4. So because of the sequence that I want. Or because of format and presentation, because of monitoring and assessment. Because of the assessment, for example. Or you your students are, for example, assessed productively, but the contents are not productive, then you need to adapt the content so that they can become productive. Or because of principles, because of environment analysis, because of learners needs analysis. So but these are some of the factors that you for the adaptation. Now, what is the form of adaptation that you can use? Ini. Okay, the reason, what, in what order, so you can adapt the order. Okay, how will I teach? The procedure, maybe that you want to follow a certain model, learning model. And I believe that you learn learning theories with Pak Himawan the other semester, and you learn many different ways that the student can learn. And how will I know that learning is happening in terms of the assessment? Okay, so this is the form. You adapt by changing the content and sequence. You change the content of the book to match the culture of the country, for example, because the textbook is published, for example, in the United States, then you want to contextualize the textbook to Indonesia, then you change the content and sequence. This is an example. You use Indonesian name, for example. You the discussion that you not only talk about mashed potato, but also about that one. Or you change the format and presentation. For example, you can use this one, the format reading, and then you break the text down into different paragraphs, and you ask the learners to rearrange. So a different format. A change in the assessment, for example, you don't use the assessment in the textbook. Instead, you use your own assessment. Okay, so these are some forms of the adaptation. Now, adoption, of course, is the first option, after you select the materials. What does it mean, adoption? Of course, if it is adoption, you take the materials, the textbooks in full. In full, you use the books in full from the first page to the last page. Now, what is the the reason for, what are the reason for adoption? I think one of the first is experience. Teachers' experience. If the teacher the teachers do not have experience in teaching, yeah, there is likelihood that he or she will adopt materials. I think that happens with new English teachers, yeah, and for you sometimes, yeah, you know what I mean. If you become a new English teacher, the first English teacher in school, and you will usually use, yeah, textbooks in full. This is what we call adoption. Well, that's good, yeah. If I think that will give you some ideas what to teach, you know, when you use a book in full, yeah. Why bother? Yeah. You know, if you have a good book, then why bother developing materials? Yeah, yeah. That's of course a rule of thumb. Yeah. If we have good materials, why should we develop materials? But if you don't, if the materials do not meet your expectation, then you need to adopt the materials. Yeah. Because of low salaries, the teachers have much teaching position around the city. Yeah. For example, yeah, if you don't have time, yeah, to develop materials, then adoption is one of the best that you can choose. Yeah. Or other reasons, limitation or not limitation, limited English proficiency. Yeah. Or you have that one. Cooperation, yeah, agreement with the publishers, yeah, and I think that happens in schools, yeah, because of the publishers of the workbook, yeah, LKS, yeah, yeah. Bu, yeah, kalau semua beli, and then you will get well, at least, you know, 5%, ya, ini of apa namanya itu, return, ya, for you, ya. Oh, yeah, there is no time to prepare for the lesson. Yeah. Okay, this is the adaptation advantages and disadvantages. Yeah. Of course, we've got advantages. Yeah. Yeah. Interesting, motivating. Ya, biasanya begitu. Ya, because you adapt the materials to meet the needs. Yeah. Sometimes the adaptation will bring the materials up to date. Yeah, that one, the disadvantage, yeah, time consuming. This is very obvious, yeah, because you need to think of ways to adapt the materials. Yeah, time consuming. Very often there is a problem with copyright. Yeah, of course we don't want to infringe the copyright. Yeah, yeah, copyright violation or infringement. Yeah, I think that happens. As I said, you know, your seniors materials are actually some parts adapted from other sources. Yeah. But we tried our best to avoid copyright infringement by, yeah, giving reference to that. Yeah, that we acknowledge this is not ours. Yeah. What about the adoption? Yeah, of course, the advantage is cheap, well structured. Yeah, but disadvantage, ya biasanya inappropriate content. I think not in harusnya ini, ya. Yeah. Inappropriate content. Ya. Okay, in brief, the decision to adapt or to adopt has to be based on dynamic context of your classroom. Yeah, I think you need to think of your classroom, yeah, whether it is important to adapt, whether it is important to develop. Now let's go on to the procedure for developing materials. So if we do have to develop materials, what should we do? Okay, I will show you the we call it flow chart of materials development. Yeah. SOP. Let me check. Okay, this one. Yeah, skin. So if you know you can adopt, you can adapt, then you need to go through this process of developing materials. So these are the steps for developing instructional or learning materials. Yeah. So I made it in 2020, so 2 years ago. We show you the steps. Yes, to develop learning materials, one of the first is for you to understand, to know, to list, yeah, the curriculum goals, yeah, what is expected from the curriculum, yeah. From the curriculum goals, you need to know the objectives, yeah, the KTs, yeah, basic competencies, yeah, and then you need to know the indicators. You need to develop the indicators from the KT. So the indicators, yeah, have to be clear, of course, yeah, and unambiguous, yeah. You need to list the indicators that you want to develop materials for. Step number 4, yeah, you need to get authentic text. This is important, yeah. Later we will be talking about authenticity. Yeah. I have already got the materials for that. Authentic text. What does authentic mean? Yeah, of course, the idea is being authentic is being genuine, yeah, real, yeah, communication, yeah, real English text used by real people for real purposes, yeah, yeah, for non-educational or learning purposes. This is the idea of authentic text, yeah, because our curriculum is text-based, and you need to get the authentic text, yeah, not made up text, yeah, spoken text and written text. So what I find is that very often the texts are made up texts, not real text, yeah, not authentic, yeah, not used, not produced, yeah, by real people for the real language purposes, for the real communication, yeah, made up. Because this is made up, then yeah, of course this is not good, yeah. You need to think of authentic text, yeah, to get the authentic text for the indicators, yeah. And then if you have got the authentic text, you need to think of the authentic tasks, yeah, yeah, authentic tasks, yeah, to make use of the authentic text so that the indicators can be achieved, yeah. Okay, what are authentic tasks? Yeah, tasks are jobs, yeah, yeah, instructions, yeah, to make use of the authentic text, yeah. You've got the task, now you need to think of the ways, yeah, to teach this one, yeah, the tasks, yeah. Think of the ways to teach listening, speaking, reading, writing, grammar, vocabulary, yeah. And then you need to exploit the authentic text so that the learning is meaningful. Finally, write the first draft, yeah, instructional materials in logical order, and write your final draft, yeah. This is important for you, yeah, during yeah, this semester, yeah, especially the second half of the semester, you will be doing these steps, yeah. So let me share with you the files that you need so that your discussion can be, or your question can be based on these files. Okay. Patient. The selections and gradation steps in doing them, and then when to adapt, yeah, and then that one. SOP. Okay. Okay, sent to you already. Yeah. Okay, I give you 5 minutes or 10 just to get the once again the PowerPoints and materials so that you can ask me questions. Yeah. Any questions? Remember the options. Yeah. Selection, adoption, adaptation, and then development. Yes, Alizan.
All right. Thank you, sir. I want to ask about the material that is state on your PPT, especially like developing material. So actually, is there any possibility when we start to adopt or developing material from books? But the other hand, the textbooks that we use for the syllabus reference may not be the same as the curriculum you're taking. That's it.
Yeah, thank you, Haliza. The idea of material development is developing from scratch, materials from scratch, yeah, not adapting materials, yeah. Once again, you need to distinguish between textbooks adaptation and materials development, yeah. So your project is completely from scratch. You need to follow the steps that I said over there. Well, you can skip some steps, yes, of course, yeah. But the idea is that when you are assigned to develop a certain basic competency, you need to draw your own plan. You need to break, for example, the basic competency down into the indicators, yeah. Of course, in our way, yeah, in our way, yeah. Later, I will be talking about in our way. Yeah? What do I mean by our ways, yeah? So there is a possibility of not getting what you expect from the commercial textbooks, even the mandatory textbooks. Yeah. Once again, material development, Haliza, is different from textbooks adaptation. Do you get my my point, Haliza?
Yes, sir. All right.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Yes. Vic?
Yes, sir. I want to ask about the adaptation that that is you mentioned that we can adapt from any books that fit with our learning lesson plan. So is it possible to like Frankenstein, like we adapt one chapter from one book and then another chapter from another book and then another chapter again from another book? Is that possible?
Yeah, it is possible. Yeah, for adaptation. Yeah, because that's the idea of adaptation. You adapt the materials. Yeah. All right. So referring to Haliza's question, yeah, whether you can do that for your materials development, I would say no. Yeah, because your materials development will be completely, fresh, new. Yeah, from the curriculum, from the syllabus, into the materials. But if, for example, in your practice of teaching, yeah, you find that a particular textbook matches your lesson plan, for example, a particular chapter, yeah, matches your lesson plan, you use it, yeah, in some part, yeah, and then you use other chapter in other parts, yeah, for your lesson plan. That is called adaptation, yeah, not materials development. Okay.
Yes, sir. One question again, sir.
Yes, please.
You said that when we should adopt a book when the teacher's level, like the teacher's capability is low. So is it possible that by adopting frequently can make teachers skill dull? Like is it possible that adopting all over again is it possible that by adopting makes teacher lazy?
Yeah, I think that is the common phenomenon for the new teachers, Vic. Yeah. If you read books on professional development, you will find that there are what we call stages in the teacher's life cycle. Yeah? Teacher's life cycle. Yeah. Yeah, for new teachers, that is the common phenomenon. Yeah, to adopt a textbooks. Yeah, don't worry, you're not the only person. You're not the only teacher, yeah, who adopts in the world. Yeah, okay. Along with the practice, with the teaching experience, yeah, they will pick up, yeah, ways that the textbooks writers that they adopted, yeah, develop the materials. So they usually start the adapting some of them because they felt that they feel that look, this part doesn't meet my students and so on and so forth. Yeah. For your information, yeah, pre-service English teachers like you or new English teachers or novice itu namanya inexperienced English teachers, ya, will usually focus on themselves, ya, not focusing on others, even not focusing on their students. Why? Because you are still learning to be a teacher. You are afraid that you don't perform well. You are thinking of what you are teaching. You are thinking of whether, for example, your students will understand you or not. But the center is you. The center is the teacher. But once you get 1 year experience, 2 years experiences, and 3 years and so on, your focus has now moved to others, to your students. Why? Because you have a collections of experience here in your head. Yeah, you're not thinking about you. You're not worried about yourself. Yeah, because you have experience. You even have many materials to be used for your students. Yeah. Of course, if you see me now, 2022, and you compare, yeah, my state, yeah, my condition, yeah, for in teaching in 1999, for example, you will find it completely different. Yeah, I taught in 1999 for the first time. 1999. Yeah, this is 2022, so 23 years already. Yeah. Now, if you compare, of course, when I was English teachers, new English teacher, I would use a book here in full. Why? Because I was convinced that look, the book is good. The book meets my expectation, and I believe the students will usually find it useful too. But now, yeah, moving on to another years of experience, different teaching context. You see me like this now. I have many books. I don't use, yeah, them in full. I only show you this is that and so on and so forth. I created my own. Yeah, you will also be doing the same process, ya, in your career as English teacher. Ya. Makanya guru-guru yang ini yang sudah pengalaman itu kan beda dengan ini, karena nggak khawatir tentang dirinya sendiri. Nah, it is also completely different, ya, when a teacher is approaching their retirement. Ya, the study shows that when they are approaching their retirement, they don't think of the contents, but they think of themselves. Yeah, they are thinking of their future. They are thinking of putting them as a wise, yeah, person. Wise teachers always gives nasihat, ya. Oke, biasanya guru-guru tua itu enggak ngajar biasanya. Kenapa? Karena dia mikir dirinya saya mau pensiun, saya mau mati, macam-macam, ya. Karena itu guru-guru tua biasanya, ya, ngisinya itu ngasih nasihat, ya, dua jam pelajaran isinya nasihat, nggak pernah pelajaran. Kenapa? Dia mau mati, enggak? Dia mikir apa? Kamu harus jadi generasi yang baik, gitu. Biasanya begitu. Itu namanya teach life cycle, ya. Begitu, ya. So don't worry, you're not the only one, ya. It's okay to use a book, to adopt a book. There is nothing wrong with that, ya. Begitu. You will get to the stage where you understand when you realize that, look, I think this adopting a book doesn't meet my expectation. Now you are thinking, now start thinking of the adaptation. Don't worry, gitu ya. I hope that answers a question. You're still young, adopting a book is no problem. Okay, Vic? Yes, let's move on to Nirmala. Yes, Nirmala.
Yes, sir. I want to ask why, like, students' English proficiency becomes one of the factors of teachers to adopting a book.
To adopt materials.
Yes.
Adopt textbooks, sorry, yes. Adopt
Yes.
textbooks, yeah. Yep. What's the question?
Yes, sir. That is my question. Why students' English proficiency becomes one of the factors of teachers adopting
Yeah,
materials?
very often, Nirmala, we find that a certain textbook has been designed for a certain English proficiency level. Yeah. So a book, for example, has been designed for early beginners. Yeah. And because the commercial textbook has been written in such a way that it is interesting, colorful, and so on, that you cannot modify. Even you, for example, you change it, from colorful to photocopy, black and white, for example, it will change students' perception, students' interest, all of a sudden, there is a sudden change in the mood because of that. That's why using such a textbook, adopting such a textbook is a good reason, to maintain their motivation, to maintain their, because if the proficiency, if the level is too high, they will not be motivated. Wah, susah ini, so they don't want to learn. Nah, begitu ya. That's why it is one of the reasons, to adopt materials, especially in the namanya graded books, ya buku-buku yang tergraded itu ada level 1, level 2, level 3, Penguins book misalnya kan banyak, Oxford graded readers, begitu kan. Buku-buku itu memang has been developed for certain levels. Itu Nirmala ya.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Yes, Adinda.
Yes, sir. Thank you for the opportunity. So I want to ask about the adoption materials. So how can we limit our adoption materials, sir, so that it will not be too difficult or too easy for our students?
Yes, that is why you need to go on to the procedures for or criteria for selections of materials, Adinda. So before you finally fall in love with a certain textbook, because you fall in love with a certain textbook, then you adopt it. Before you actually adopt the book, you need to do strict selection processes, including matching the contents with the students' proficiency level. Okay, so you will understand from the process of matching that, for example, only half of the books that you adopt, for example, a match. So that means you will use only half of the books, and then you will use other textbooks to meet the second half of the semester, for example. So the adoption of a textbooks may mean that you will use many textbooks, not only one textbooks, to meet your students' interest and also English proficiency. Itu ya, Adinda. So
Yes.
not one, maybe two, maybe three that you adopt. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Understood. But may
Okay.
I ask one more question, sir?
Yes, please.
Yes. So I wonder how long will our adoption materials is still applicable, sir?
Yeah. How long will you adopt materials? Yeah.
How long will our adoption materials will be still applicable for teaching students?
Okay. Well, it depends on many factors, as you see in the adaptation. Yeah. Factors, intrinsic factors, extrinsic factors. But one of the most important factors, yeah, is the contents, yeah, and students' proficiency level. Yeah. While the contents, for example, is high and the students' proficiency level is not that high, then you need to abandon the book. Yeah. What I mean is that you may adopt a books this year and you abandon that book next year. Instead, you fall in love with other textbooks. Yeah, that's possible, Adinda. Yeah, this year you adopt book A, but next year you see that look, book A doesn't meet your expectation anymore, and you adopt book B, and then it goes on to the NA. And in your career, you, as I said, there will usually begin to what? To adapt some of the materials. You begin, we call it compile parts of the textbooks, yeah, many textbooks into one. Yeah, that's the facts in the history of, or in the life cycle of all English teachers. So how long? Yeah, it depends on the speed of your learning, yeah, experience. Yeah. But I believe within 5 years you have come to that skills of adaptation. Yeah, you are moving from adopting to adapting textbooks within 5 years of your initial career as English teacher. I believe so, Adinda.
Yes. Thank you very much, sir. I
Thank
really
you.
understood.
Yes, Erlin, thank you. Yes, Adinda, thank you. Erlin, now it's yours.
Yes, sir. Thanks for the opportunities. I just asked about what the example if we know authentic tasks to make of the authentic in the class it is can be achievement. It is like we can know in these steps for developing instructional learning materials there is have to the 5 steps there is have things of authentic tasks how
Yeah.
to be we can know things of authentic tasks. Thank
Okay. Yep. I have a PowerPoint for that, but I don't want to show it to you this at this stage, because we will be dealing with that later. But the idea of authentic task is that, ya, kalau authentic text itu kan the text is produced, ya, by real people, ya, for real communication purposes, ya, not robot, not ini made up, not ini, ya. It means that we can find the text, ya, in our life, ya. I mean, our means the English speakers life, ya, not Indonesian speakers life, ya. When authentic task is real use, ya, of language for language learning, ya. Okay, real use of language for language learning, authentic task. So for example, yeah, the learning of greeting, yeah, okay. The authentic task means asking the learners, yeah, to greet someone, yeah, orally, ya, not to greet someone in writing, ya, gitu ya, itu authentic task, ya. So greet your friend tapi ditulis greet your friend, ya, hello, hello, ini this is not authentic. Why? Because greeting, ya, resembles spoken, ya, communication, ya, gitu ya, Erlin, ya. So this is an example of authentic tasks. Another example is when you ask somebody, ask the learners to write a letter. How can you resemble authentic tasks? Yes, of course, you need to provide a prompt. A prompt is a trigger, yeah, for them to write a letter. How? Send them a letter so that they will reply the letter, right? So this is what we call authentic task. Jadi, so don't say, coba ini tulis ini ya surat ke nenekmu, gitu. Katakan gini-gini. Nah, ini that doesn't resemble authentic task. Ya. Gimana ini? Ya, kalau ya, it has to resemble. Namanya resemble, it's not 100% real, ya, namanya resemble, begitu ya, Erlin. But we need to make sure that the tasks will, ya, be as close as possible to the real, ya, language use, gitu ya. Gitu ya.
Yes, sir. Thank you for the answer,
Okay,
sir.
thank you. So yes, we will be talking about authenticity. There are many perspectives of authenticity. Yeah, not only authentic tasks that the language uses authentic, but or real, but another perspectives of authenticity is, yeah, the producer of the text, ya. Nanti kita akan gitu ya. Producer. Ya, so if it is an English an English for example text, ya, but produced by Indonesian, ya, to the Indonesian, ya, or for the Indonesian, that's not authentic in that perspective. Ya. Oke. Jadi kalau ada teks bahasa Inggris tapi diciptakan oleh orang Indonesia, ditujukan kepada orang Indonesia, itu dianggap tidak otentik gitu. Kenapa? Itu nggak pernah ada di dalam kehidupan orang Indonesia gitu. Kecuali kalau memang ada dalam kehidupannya orang Indonesia yang begitu. Adakah gitu? Kamu keluar rumah begitu terus kamu ini good morning sir, in the coffee corner, excuse me. Can I get a cup of coffee, please? Yeah. Coffee, cappuccino or latte, something like that. That's not real, yeah, because you will be, people will look at you and then will say, how long have you been out of hospital? Itu nanti begitu ya. This lack of context in Indonesian in Indonesia, begitu, kayak seperti itu ya. Itu one of the perspective. Tapi that is one of the perspective. There are many other perspectives. Nah, kalau ini mau authentic tasks kan harus begitu, Pak. Oh ya, okay, that's possible. Authentic task kan, from the point of view of authentic task, that's possible. Yeah, because we can't ask the student to have what we call immersion. Nah, kalau immersion, how much money do they have to pay to go overseas to Australia? That's the closest that we have. Kalau mau immersion asli ya, kan harus pergi ke tempatnya ini. Loh, saya sih senang-senang saja kelas ini mau ini. Ayo immersion ke Australia, ayo, oke, nggak apa-apa 1 bulan. Tapi siapa yang mau bayari di sana? Bayari perjalanannya, terus bayari di sana, kos di sana. Hah? Nggak punya uang kita ya ini itu. Kayak gitu. Nah, Ini kalau yang ini mohon maaf ya, kalau ini saudara-saudara kita yang kaya itu, ya learning English-nya ya langsung ke sana gitu ya. Di sini di EF English First, di sini langsung nanti immersion-nya nanti ke ini ke States gitu ya, ke Amerika sana, ke London gitu ya, aja pasti pinter bahasa Inggris saya. Gitu. Gitu ya, real ya, itu namanya real experience of using the language. Gitu ya. Yes, Vic. Yes, Vic. You have other questions?
Yes, sir. I heard that when we learn a language, we also learn the culture of the language. For example, like if we learn English, then we learn the culture from the English people. So why should we bother to adapt the culture of English into in Indonesian context?
Yeah. Adapt the culture of English to Indonesian context. Yeah. Vic, so far in the history of English language, yeah, there are many paradigms in our history. Yeah, paradigms means beliefs about English language. One of the latest paradigms is what we call EIL, English as International Language. Yeah, okay, English as the national language. One of the oldest paradigm is that one that you are referring to, what we call English as a foreign language. English as a foreign language, and then moving on English for speakers of other languages, and then moving on to English as a second language, and then moving on to English as international language, English as lingua franca, and nowadays, yeah, there is also a paradigm in English-speaking countries called English as additional language. Yeah, so there are many paradigm. Paradigm itu beliefs. Yeah, you believe, yeah, for example, that if you believe in EFL, English as a foreign language, yeah, the target is what we call native speakerism. Yeah, native speakerism. What does it mean? Native speakerism means that the target of learning is to be as native as possible. Yeah, gitu ya. To be as native as possible. That's the old paradigm. That is why if you can compare my English, I was born in the 70s, yeah, and the older generation who were born in the 50s, 60s, yeah, their English is are much better, yeah, in terms of pronunciation, in terms of accuracy, yeah, and so on, than my English, yeah. My lecturers, yeah, the seniors, yeah, the English is much better, yeah, because they were raised, they were educated in the era of English as a foreign language, in the era of native speakerism, yeah. But I was taught in different paradigm. I was taught when English was a second language, English as a starting to be English as lingua franca. Yeah, I was taught in the 1990s. Yeah, starting to learn English. Nowadays, English as international language, in which there is an acknowledgement of what we call world Englishes. Yeah, world Englishes. Yeah. I think you haven't introduced to this concept, ya, world Englishes, ya. Nah, ini biasanya saya mengajar di S2 itu English as the national language, ya. World Englishes is always introduced, ya. Nowadays, the structure of English speakers in the world has changed so much, ya. Many speakers are non-English, are not from English-speaking countries. Yeah. Many speakers are from we call it expanding circle, like Indonesia, China. Our numbers of English speakers is more than the numbers of English speakers in the UK. Jumlah orang yang berbahasa Inggris di Indonesia ini masih lebih banyak daripada orang Inggris di Inggris sana loh ya. Jumlah kita itu. Jumlah orang Inggris, orang yang bisa baca Inggris di di Cina itu masih lebih banyak daripada orang Inggris ya, Inggris sana ya, begitu. That's the reality, begitu ya. Because of that, there is a movement of what we call English as international language, in which English is used for international communication, yeah, with their Englishes, because the objective of the communication is common agreement, not what is it, not the whether the pronunciation is like that of native speaker. Common agreement, as long as you agree and so on and so forth. But there is a problem, of course. How can you understand somebody's English, if very often what they mean, because they use a certain word, is different in the reception, of the counterpart, the person he speaks with. That is why there is what we call namanya nanti intercultural communication competence, atau namanya communicative competence. Jadi pada kata intercultural communicative competence, we need to have competence in the intercultural communication. What the Chinese mean by using a certain word, may different from what we understand, gitu ya. Nah, that's why contextualizing a certain word, for example, to our Indonesian context, our Indonesian experiences, for example, becomes important. So these days, because of the change of the paradigm, gitu ya. Yes, we now have more international communication context than in the past. In our international conferences, for example, very often the speakers are not from English-speaking countries, but they are forced to speak English. Ya, biasanya kalau di sini konferensi di UNESA yang internasional itu kan speakernya dari Jepang, dari Taiwan, dari Thailand gitu ya. Bahasa Inggrisnya kan aduh berat sekali kan gitu ya bahasa Inggrisnya ya. Wah, itu aja berat itu ya. Nah, that's when you need to have what we call intercultural communicative competence gitu. Nah, supaya nanti kalau kita belajar bahasa Inggris itu apa yang ada di teks itu nanti kita pahami dengan baik gitu ya, kita kontekstualkan ke Indonesia, begitu akan nanti ketika kita menggunakannya itu akan match gitu dengan ekspektasi orang yang kita ajak bicara gitu. Nah, ini jadi semakin kompleks sekarang belajar bahasa itu ya. Kalau dulu kalau nggak cocok dengan orang Inggris berarti salah bahasa Inggris kita loh ya. Dulu. Kenapa? Masih native speakerism ya. Sekarang nggak bisa begitu sekarang. Kenapa? Harus ada namanya di intercultural communication, intercultural communicative competence. Bahkan orang Inggris pun perlu intercultural communicative competence. Orang Inggris itu. Ya, so that they understand what Indonesians, for example, mean when they speak with them. Ini yang kami kan selalu komunikasi dengan Andy Cherokee, Andy Cherokee, York, from York University, itu bukan orang Inggris dia, itu orang Polish ya, orang Polandia, tapi di Inggris ya. Sama, dia juga harus belajar maksudnya apa ya kalau ngomong gini gitu. Oke, jadi ini semakin berkembang sekarang. Nanti ada, sekarang ada ya mata kuliahmu namanya ini ya, Classroom Language ini. Nanti ada semester depan ada namanya intercultural communication nanti, intercultural communication next semester ya. Biasanya yang ngajar ya Bu Raras, Pak Fahri gitu ya. Loh, kenapa? Yang ngajar Bu Raras biasanya. saya malas ngajar mata kuliah itu, walaupun saya sebenarnya mengajar mata kuliah yang mirip-mirip itu di pasca begitu. Yeah, I hope that answers your question. Yeah, why bother contextualizing ini English words, for example, to in the commercial textbooks to Indonesian context? But that is one of the ways to adapt. Yeah, one of the ways. There are many other ways. If you don't need to adapt, then it's okay. Yeah.
Understood, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So yes, if you have no questions over my PowerPoints, yeah, I haven't talked a lot about selections, yeah. Okay, what are the criteria of selections of the textbooks, yeah. Okay. Kalau memilih buku itu apa, harus perhatikan apa-apanya belum, ya tadi ya. Because I leave it to you, ya. Saya nanti punya PowerPoint-nya nanti later, ya. Because I leave it to you. So please, if you can work with your friends, ini kan ya, ada 10 ya, ada 20, ya 10 lah itu ya. Please think of the selection. Apa ya? What are the criteria for selections of commercial textbooks? Gitu ya. Kriterianya apa gitu ya? By reading, of course, the book, that one, the book by ada book by Tomlinson, ada booknya by Azarmus itu ya. Begitu ya. Nanti later today I will give you the PowerPoint on the selection. Apa kriteria untuk memilih choosing commercial textbooks itu bagaimana gitu nanti. Tapi sekarang kerja dulu dengan ini ya. Oke. Okay? Because I think I need to go to the puskesmas ya, because of my ini nomor antrian ini nomor 5 ini, nanti dokternya itu bengok-bengok nanti itu ya. Mudah-mudahan ini nggak ditolak. Biasanya kalau nomornya lewat itu, wah sudah lewat, ambil nomor lagi ya repot nanti. Okay, are we good? Okay, so please divide yourself, work into groups, yeah, and read the 2 books, Tomlinson and Azarmus, yeah, and get the criteria, yeah, for choosing or selecting commercial textbooks, yeah, as your learning materials, gitu ya, gitu ya. So you may have a list of the ini and have a PowerPoint maybe to be submitted to me in the end, gitu ya. Okay, so it's up to you to divide, by your name, yeah, or by by connections, yeah, it's okay, yeah.
Excuse me, sir. I just want to make sure. So we are going to divide ourselves in 2 groups or a group of 2?
Into groups. Yeah.
Into groups. So
yeah.
There, since there are 20 people in here, so there will be 10 people in a group.
Yeah, and each has to produce the criteria for choosing or selecting commercial textbooks as the learning materials, gitu ya.
Understood, sir.
Okay, put into ini. How about the attendance list? I have already filled in the attendance list today. Yeah. Because when I click the QR code, it didn't work ini. QR code itu benar ini nggak nyala gitu, nggak bisa di copy gitu ya. Ya akhirnya saya isikan ya. So everyone is now ini present ya. Okay, don't worry. You did. If you check ya, you will find that you today you have been checked in ya. Okay. Okay, thank you everyone. I do apologize for this early closing of the class, but I ask for your understanding of my situation today. Okay, thank you. Please work with your friends and accomplish the task that I give you. Okay, thank you. Saya akhiri. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank
Thank you,
you.
sir.
See you.